Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're joining us today because we are tackling a massive topic. Choosing the right country for your academic journey is one of those monumental life decisions. It literally shapes your future, your career path, your whole personal growth. You really want to get this right, and honestly, you need the absolute truth to do it. So that brings us to the ultimate question on every prospective Nigerian student's mind. Which is easier, the Canada or the UK student visa? Look, it's totally understandable. Most of us want the route with less friction and a higher chance of a yes. Well, today, we're giving you a detailed, no-holds-barred comparison of these two powerhouse destinations so you can figure out exactly what path makes sense for you. Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. First up, application speed and approval. Second, financial and academic requirements. Third, living costs and environment. Fourth, post-study work and immigration. And finally, making your final choice. All right, Section 1, application speed and approval, analyzing processing times and success rates. When it comes to processing times, the UK student visa is noticeably easier and much faster for Nigerians right now. We're talking a turnaround of usually just 2 to 4 weeks. Canada, on the other hand, brace yourself. You could be waiting anywhere from 8 to 20 weeks, sometimes even longer. I mean, imagine sitting on pins and needles for almost half the year just waiting for a simple answer. And unfortunately, that agonizing wait for Canada comes with a much tougher system. They've seriously tightened their rules over the past couple of years. So the crucial point here is that a major hurdle, a very common reason Nigerian applications get refused, is what they call a lack of ties to your home country. Because of strict criteria like this, recent data definitely shows the UK currently boasts a higher approval rate for Nigerian students. Moving on to Section 2, financial and academic requirements. Let's break down that upfront burden. Now, this is absolutely crucial. There is a massive financial gap between these two. Canada is tough when it comes to the money. You literally have to prove you have enough cash to cover your full tuition and living expenses for the entire duration of your program all up front. The UK? Way more flexible. You generally just need to show you can handle the first year's tuition and living costs. For a lot of Nigerian families, that makes the UK infinitely more accessible from a financial standpoint. But hey, it's not just about the money, right? It's also about clearing those academic hurdles. Now, both countries happily accept IELTS for English proficiency, which is fantastic. But here's the kicker. UK universities sometimes have slightly lower entry requirements for Nigerian students. And why does that matter? Well, securing that initial university admission makes getting the visa a whole lot smoother. Canada, generally speaking, maintains a stricter overall academic system right out of the gate. Section 3, living costs and environment, daily life, weather, and community. Actually, real quick before we dive into daily living, let's talk out-of-pocket application costs. The UK generally charges a lower upfront visa application fee. Canada hits you with a higher application fee and then tax on a biometrics fee right on top of it. So what happens when you finally land? In the UK, living expenses can be pretty steep, especially if you're headed to London. But on the flip side, it's a much shorter flight home to Nigeria. Now, Canada, yes, it's famous for that freezing weather, but it actually offers cheaper living costs if you look at certain provinces. Plus, they tend to offer more part-time work opportunities and a generally more relaxed vibe. But honestly, no matter which you choose, you won't be alone. Both countries boast huge, vibrant Nigerian communities in major hubs like London and Manchester, or Toronto and Ottawa. All right, Section 4, post-study work and immigration. Let's look at long-term opportunities after graduation. Here's the really great news. Both of these countries actually want you to stay and contribute. They both let you stick around and work after you graduate. The UK gives you a 2-year graduate visa, and if you're wrapping up a PhD, that gets bumped to 3 years. Canada offers what's called a post-graduation work permit, which can also last for up to 3 years. So right out of school, you've got solid working opportunities in either place. But if we look further down the line, there's a clear winner for long-term settlement. Canada currently offers a much clearer pathway to permanent residency. Honestly, think of it as the ultimate reward for enduring their incredibly strict application process. You get amazing long-term immigration prospects, but you've got to survive that grueling student visa stage first. And finally, Section 5, making your final choice, deciding based on your unique profile. So, what does this all mean? It really comes down to an if this then that situation. If your absolute top priority is speed, easier approval, and less of a financial burden up front, the UK is the smarter, easier choice. Period. But if you're playing the long game, if you want better long-term immigration prospects, you've got the budget to prove full-duration funds, and you don't mind a demanding process, Canada is absolutely worth that extra sweat. Your right choice completely depends on your budget, your timeline, and your specific goals. I really want you to absorb this next point. Choosing between Canada and the UK is not just about getting a visa stamp in your passport. This is about your entire future. Please do not make this massive decision alone. And for sure, do not make it based entirely on hearsay or rumors from a friend of a friend. You need solid facts and you need a strategy. If you want to make the absolute best choice and successfully navigate this whole shebang, from school admission all the way to visa approval, get some expert help. Reach out to the team at travel.org. Their website is travel.org. You can call or WhatsApp them at 070-540-47448, shoot an email to hello@travel.org, or follow them on all the socials at @travelism. So having seen the strict, highly rewarding path of Canada and the fast, accessible path of the UK, I leave you with this. Which path will you choose to shape your destiny?
Welcome. Today, we're going to talk about why international travel could be the absolute best investment you make this entire year.
What if I told you that one of the smartest investments you could make this year isn't in stocks, it isn't cryptocurrency, it's not real estate, or even a new business?
What if the investment with the true potential to transform your career, massively expand your opportunities, increase your confidence, and fundamentally change the way you see the world is actually something much simpler?
International travel.
Look, most people see travel purely as an expense. They think of the plane tickets, the hotel bookings, the visa fees, and the travel insurance. They focus entirely on what travel costs. But highly successful people often look at this through a completely different lens. They focus on what travel can return. They look at plane tickets not as a sunk cost, but as the entry fee to a masterclass in global networking and personal growth. It's a total mindset shift.
Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we're going to explore how international travel expands your global perspective, builds a global network, develops high-value skills, unlocks educational opportunities, and ultimately creates powerful career and business opportunities. Let's get started.
First up, travel expands your perspective. One of the absolute biggest benefits of crossing borders is that it radically changes how you see the world. When you stay in one environment for a long time, it's remarkably easy to assume that the way things are done around you is the only way to do them.
But man, once you step off that plane, everything changes. You quickly discover that different countries solve problems entirely differently. You see different business models. You experience unique educational systems. You observe entirely diverse work cultures. You see cross-border communication in action. It's like a giant puzzle coming together. You might ride a public transit system in Tokyo that completely shatters your previous idea of efficiency. Or you might see a totally unique approach to work-life balance over in Scandinavia. All of this broader perspective, it helps you become far more adaptable and truly innovative. Think about it. Many entrepreneurs have literally launched successful businesses just from discovering one fresh idea on an international trip. Countless professionals have leveled up their careers because getting out of their bubble helped them break a creative rut. Travel challenges your assumptions. It forces growth. And in today's hyper-connected economy, folks who can think globally, they possess a massive, undeniable advantage.
Our second point is all about the people. Travel helps you build a global network. Another reason international travel is such a powerful investment is simply the sheer volume of fascinating people you meet. Every single trip introduces you to new individuals, new cultures, and untouched opportunities.
Seriously, you never know who you're going to bump into. You might meet a future business partner while you're just waiting out some frustrating flight delay, or a potential employer during a local workshop, maybe a lifelong mentor, a major client, a fellow entrepreneur, or honestly, maybe just someone who casually introduces you to a whole new world of opportunities you never even knew existed. It's not just about collecting business cards. It's about forming genuine, memorable bonds over shared experiences when you're thousands of miles away from home.
Because at the end of the day, it really comes down to this old but highly accurate adage. In many cases, success isn't only about what you know, it's also about who knows you. International travel creates incredible opportunities for these meaningful connections that can benefit you for years to come. And the best part? Networking doesn't just happen in stuffy conference rooms while you're wearing some sticky name tag. No way.
It happens over terrible airport coffee. It happens at local events, at university campuses, during business meetings, or even during casual conversations while you're just trying to navigate a bustling local market. Just one single conversation in an unfamiliar city can open a door that completely changes the trajectory of your whole future.
Building on those connections, we come to our third point. Travel develops high-value, undeniable skills. Every international trip teaches valuable life skills. Think about the sheer logistics involved in navigating a foreign country.
You've got planning, problem-solving, communication, time management, adaptability, decision-making, confidence. I mean, think about the sheer resourcefulness it takes when you accidentally hop on the wrong train in a country where you literally don't speak a single word of the language. If you can stay calm and navigate your way out of that, you can absolutely crush a stressful Monday morning board meeting. These are exactly the skills that employers are dying for. They're the skills entrepreneurs need just to survive and the ones leaders rely on every single day. When you're out there traveling, you're constantly learning how to adjust on the fly. You're learning how to communicate across massive cultural divides. You're learning true resourcefulness. And the more you travel, the stronger those muscles get. People spend years reading self-help books trying to build confidence, right? Well, travel accelerates that process naturally because every successful trip practically proves to your own brain that you are capable of handling way more than you ever thought possible.
Next, we look at learning. Travel creates unmatched educational opportunities. Whether you're a student, a recent graduate, or a seasoned working professional, exposure to global learning environments can be profoundly life-changing.
And hey, this isn't just about study abroad programs for college kids. As a working professional, traveling lets you visit leading universities. You can attend exclusive workshops, participate in international conferences, explore highly specialized training programs, and actually learn from global experts to see firsthand how your industry operates in a totally different market. You're gaining invaluable knowledge about global trends right as they happen. Actually, some people even discover massive grant or scholarship opportunities while they're on the road, or they stumble into completely new career paths they never would have considered back home. The learning that happens through travel goes way, way beyond the four walls of a classroom. You gain practical knowledge through real-world visceral experiences. And those experiences, they invariably become incredibly valuable assets in your journey.
Finally, let's talk about the ultimate ROI. Travel can create brand new career and business opportunities. Because let's face it, our world is becoming increasingly connected every single second.
Companies are expanding globally left and right. Remote work opportunities are growing at an unprecedented rate. International collaborations are practically becoming the gold standard. And people who have international exposure, they are intentionally positioning themselves right at the front of the line for these opportunities. Travel helps you intimately understand new markets. It helps you spot consumer trends months or even years before they hit the mainstream in your home country. For business owners, travel is a real game changer. It can reveal new products, untested services, lucrative partnerships, and entirely untapped markets. And for professionals, it can lead to rapid career advancement or even international employment. In many cases, the raw insight you gain from just one international trip can produce a business idea or a career pivot that is worth far, far more than the cost of that plane ticket. You are quite literally scouting the future of your industry.
So, after looking at all of this, why could international travel be the absolute best investment you make this year? Because it invests in something that appreciates over time. You. When you tally the whole shebang up, it expands your perspective. It grows your network. It develops valuable real-world skills. It creates unmatched educational opportunities. And it consistently opens doors to entirely new career and business possibilities.
The memories may last a lifetime, but the opportunities can last even longer. So if you've been on the fence about booking that flight, stop looking only at the immediate cost and start looking at the lifetime return. The greatest leaps in your career and honestly in your life are almost always waiting right there, just beyond your comfort zone.
So, I'll leave you with this. If you are your own greatest asset, where in the world are you going to invest in yourself next? Visit travel.org to explore travel opportunities, visa updates, educational pathways, and resources designed to help you explore the world with confidence. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next explainer.